This conference will now be recorded.
Call to order the Board of Zoning Appeals regular meeting, August 5th, 2024 at 5 p.m. Marie, can I have you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schlechter.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Levine.
Here.
Mr. Alto.
Here. Okay, has everybody, I see you coming up right now, had the opportunity to review the minutes from last month? Any changes, any corrections? No? Seeing none, would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Okay, come on up, Tom. Thank you. Okay, we're going to acknowledge that our alternate, Tony Malik, is now available. Marie, can I have you call the roll as it relates to the minutes, please?
Mr. Schlechter.
Abstain.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Levine.
Yes.
Mr. Alto.
Yes.
Mr. Malik.
We're approving previous month's minutes?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, we have no old business, so before we get to new business, if you think you'll be speaking here today, can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge? Thank you very much. We are going to start off with our first item of new business, which is an exception for a temporary use for a camper trailer to live in on the property located at 6102 Westacre Lane, parcel number 78-91211, Savannah Township Zoning Resolution Section 16058-7. Daryl, if I can have you read the staff report, please.
Sure. Subject property at 6102 Westacre Lane consists of a 0.45 acre lot on the north side of Westacre within the Westacre residential subdivision. The subject parcel is occupied by a one-story single-family dwelling measuring 1,120 square feet and zoned RA low-density residential. The subject property is bounded on all sides by single-family dwellings. Like the subject property, they are all zoned RA within the Westacre subdivision. The property owner currently resides on the subject parcel they purchased in 2002. Unfortunately, a fire in April this year damaged the dwelling and has made it uninhabitable. The property owner would like to live temporarily in a recreational vehicle / trailer on the premises until the necessary repairs can be made. However, section 821 of the Savannah Township zoning resolution states that an RV parked on a property shall not be, quote, used for living or housekeeping purposes, end quote, shall not have fixed connections to electricity, water, gas, or sanitary sewer, end quote. Section 1605 of the Savannah Township zoning resolution accords the Board of Zoning Appeals the authority to grant an exception in certain instances. One such specified instance being the allowance of a temporary structure or use. Quote, the board may permit the temporary use of a structure or premise in any district for a purpose or use that does not conform to the regulations prescribed elsewhere in this resolution for the district in which it is located, provided that such use be of a temporary nature and does not involve the erection of a substantial structure. The zoning permit for such use shall be granted in the form of a temporary and revocable permit for not more than a 12-month period. Therefore, the property owner is requesting an exception for temporary use to allow them to reside in an RV on the subject property for a limited time period. The RV will be placed in the front driveway area of the property. The Board of Zoning Appeals has the discretion to set the duration of the temporary permit for any time limit up to but not exceeding 12 months. The applicant has stated they will not need that much time, so staff recommends the BZA impose a 6-month duration on the requested temporary use. Lastly, the zoning department has received complaints regarding the high grass and weeds situation on the property and has determined the property is in violation of section 1806F of the zoning resolution. It is recommended that mitigation of that nuisance be placed as a condition of approval of the temporary use. Zoning staff recommends approval with conditions of the exception request for a temporary use for a recreational vehicle / trailer for the property located at 6102 Westacre Lane for a temporary period of time as decided by the board and not to exceed 12 months from the date of this hearing for the following 2 reasons. One, approval of this exception should not present a negative impact upon the public good or neighboring properties or impair the visibility and or safety of the traveling public. Two, approval of this exception should not alter the intent of the Savannah Township zoning resolution. Zoning staff further recommends that the following condition of approval be placed on the subject variance exception request. The high grass and weed violation present on the subject property shall be resolved and the property maintained on a regular basis.
Thank you, Daryl. Does anyone on the board have any questions for Daryl based on the staff report?
So Daryl, it says proposed location of trailer, and this picture shows the trailer on site already. I just want to confirm.
Right, that was, and the applicant will address that. Correct, this picture is what was submitted with the application. Those photos were taken this morning. You are correct, Mr. Schlossberg is not in that location. I'll leave that to the applicant.
Okay.
You can address that further.
Sure.
Daryl, have we received any correspondence from neighbors or?
Just one. And what was the general tenor of that one, just so we're aware?
I believe they're concerned with the nuisance factor of the property.
So it goes to the condition issue that you brought up. Okay, thank you. Anyone else have a question for Daryl while we're at this point? Otherwise, it seems like we have somebody ready to speak either as the applicant or on behalf of the applicant.
Yes, my name is,
Can have you sign in, please?
I can do that. My name is Ken Wenninger. I'm Mr. Fischler's attorney. Mr. Fischler is here if necessary. However, he has some health issues, so I'm here to help. Well, I guess first I drove Mr. Fischler here today, and the trailer is, I guess now where I wrote the word trailer. Whoever delivered it and put it at that location for whatever reason they thought that was the best location.
Okay.
So that's where it is. So it's slightly different from what I thought it would be, but it matches my lettering. As far as the grass, Mr. Fischler indicated that he spoke to somebody who is going to be on the schedule for cutting his grass and be coming on Friday, you said?
The where the fellow that's in charge of the compliance stuff, and I made arrangements with a lawn mowing service. The front's already been done, Great Lakes. I forgot the name of the other place, did the front, but the back is gonna be taken care of by the end of the week. I forgot to bring the business card to this fella. And after that, there's going to be a regular maintenance program once a month for grass cutting and shrubbery and stuff. Apologize for the trouble I'm causing, but I just got behind with my illness and stuff. I'm trying to rectify the situation as best I can.
Mr. Chairman, can you?
Oh, yes, could I have you state your name for the record just because?
I'm sorry?
Can I have you just state your name into the mic?
Variance Alan Fischler.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I think he's got a hard of hearing in at least one ear.
I'm definitely not ready to.
Okay, got it. Any questions for the applicant and his representative at this moment?
What length of time do you propose having the trailer there?
Well, certainly until the work is done, I exchanged emails with one of the agents from the insurance company who said it should be 60 days, but I think that was 30 days ago and they haven't started yet. So Mr. Fischler is going to get on the horn tomorrow and try to get them moving. I would hope the 6 months should be satisfactory because we're getting close to winter and I think inside the house is much better than being in a camper. I'm sure it does have a heater, but probably not as much insulation as a real house.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant at this time?
There's the photo here, just, I'm wanting an understanding. It looks like there's an external, is that an external sewage tank or something that's outside of it right now? And how is that?
Oh, you're looking at the photograph that's been taken today?
Yeah,
I believe that is what that is, an external soil tank.
Okay.
And that is going to be cleaned on a regular basis. Thank you. That is going to be cleaned on a regular basis. I don't think I printed up an email, but the insurance woman was telling me that somebody comes out and cleans it as necessary.
It's in front of the trailer right now. I don't know, we haven't had any public, it sounds like regarding the trailer, there hasn't been any complaints or anything like that. So I just didn't know if that would be if that's something that needs to be addressed. Obviously, it doesn't have a permanent connection to the sewage system. So.
Right.
Okay.
This is a trailer that's provided by an insurance company, is that?
Yes, they work with an alternative housing situations for people that houses are getting repaired, and this is what they provide.
Yes, it's not directly from the insurance company, but they work with a company called First Choice Living Limited. And so it is being leased from First Choice at the cost of the insurance company.
Okay.
So in the winter, how would you propose to keep the water from freezing that supplies the unit?
Oh, I guess the water supplying the unit, you know.
I haven't crossed that bridge, so I haven't come to it yet, and I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, like I said, we expected it to be 60 days, but 60 days from starting, and I don't think they've really begun in earnest yet. I suppose if we call 60 days, 90 days, then we may still be ahead of winter.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on this matter? Yeah, one at a time, just come up in whatever order you guys can agree, and if you sign in, please, and state your name.
Name is Steve Ram. I live at 6054, which is 2 houses over, IV 158, I guess. I'm trying to figure out how they were allowed to put the trailer on the property before today's meeting and get an approval. Then to come back later to find out, to see the sewage tank sitting out in the open. They didn't put it in the driveway. They went through the neighbor's yard to park this where they have. And then it looks like the way they're going to get it out is go through the other neighbor's driveway or road. And I just can't see how they had permission. It's been there 3 weeks. How did they get it? They went through, according to that thing, they went through 157's lot to park it on 156. To get it out, they're going to have to go through 155's yard. We're confused. If he needs to live in it, that's fine. Put it in the driveway so it's not harming anybody else's yards coming in, tearing them up, whatever it may be. Or does the people that deliver this plan on repairing any damages that they do? That's up to you guys, I guess. I don't mind if it's there as long as he's getting the work done. But once it's done, you know, what's their time limit to get taken off? I don't know.
Yeah, whatever we vote on this evening will set up the duration of time that they have to get this off the property. So we'll make sure to address that in our decision making tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you though.
Thank you.
Good information. Anyone else like, yep, come on up, please.
Hi.
Hi.
I am going to sign in right now first, please.
I appreciate it, thank you.
You are very welcome. Thank you. Hang on. My name is Gloria Nixon. I live across the street and 2 doors down. I see when I'm driving out. I was on vacation, and when I get back from vacation, I saw this tank in front of the house and immediately knew exactly what it was. Exactly. None of you would have that in your neighborhood. None. You have this tank sitting in front of this house. We're driving by every day. The children are riding bicycles every day, and we have this sewage system above the ground sitting there. Think about that. That's disgusting. None of the neighbors have any objection if you would have put it in the backyard. And if that's the appropriate place it needs to go, then if they can move it to the backyard, he's got the hoses hooked up, he's got a pipe. And I don't know if you see it in the picture from the trailer, this big, running to that septic tank thingy. Now I go out and ride my bike, and the kids go out and ride their bike. That's what we're looking at. And if you can't see it, it's disgusting. The thought of it, just the thought of it. It's disgusting. Okay, so now we have this. I have lived here many more years than he has. I've seen the way he takes care of his yard. I've seen the way things are not kept up. I understand that it started from when he first moved in and not when he was sick. So we're real nervous. The neighborhood is real nervous about how he's going to take care of this property when it's not been taken care of before. We have a tendency to run the way we are. So sitting in the front yard, again, none of you would have this in your neighborhood, is we don't object to the fact that it's on his property. Put it in the backyard. Our yards are huge. They're huge. He could put it in the backyard and no one would object. Would the insurance pay for him to move the fence? Yeah, he has a great big fence around that house. All you gotta do is, I have a 6-foot fence around my house. All you gotta do is pull the posts, pull a 6-foot fence, move it back there. That's all that has to be done, and we'd be fine for it. I don't think the neighbors would object. We have a real big objection. I'm not the only one that objects. We have a lot that object. And not because of the fact that he's sick, and not because of the fact that he needs a place to live, but because of the fact that it's sitting in our neighborhood looking like that. Would you have your kids and grandkids run up and down when you have septic and sewer sitting in somebody's front yard? You know, E. coli bacteria and all this stuff? Okay, so that's just what we're looking at. The other questions we have is how long it's going to take him to repair this one. Repairs have never been made anyway from the first time that he's moved in. It just went downhill. Repairs are what? What are the repairs? What does he need to be done? Okay, so there's lots of questions that we have as neighbors that we can't get answers from because no one can give us the answers. You can't give us the answers. He can't give us the answers. And the insurance company who, if you guys have had construction before, I had construction that was supposed to not too long ago. Took them 2 years to get the construction done. So construction doesn't mean you're going to get it done this weekend. So you give them 12 months, what's going to happen? All this has to be taken into consideration. Lots of things that have to be taken into consideration. It's just not the fact that he's living there and the trailer's there, but what does it do to the neighborhood? Can it do the things that are out in front of it? What can it do? The things that aren't going to get done. You know, these are all questions that you can't answer, and you'll never be able to answer because they stuck that in the front yard without permission. Okay, we understand it's 12 months, maybe 6 months. I'm going to say it's going to be if we're going to come back in 12 months and it's going to be gone again. Is that what's going to happen? We're going to put another one up in front of you to be done again. These are questions that I'd like to have heard from you guys, the answers to, but you probably can't give me the answer because you don't know. We don't know. So remember, it's not in your neighborhood, it's in ours. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would? Yes.
Hi there.
Hi, please have you sign and say your name for the record, please.
I'm Melissa Weary, and I live catty corner to Barry.
Okay.
And, oh shoot, I guess I'm supposed to sign here and right here. 6059, hold on for just a second. All of those questions that she had and comments that she had were pretty spot on. I am still on a well, okay? So, yeah, I don't have regular city water. So I don't want, my concern is the seepage, when I would think probably almost like septic people would have to come and suck that out, right? I mean, you'd have to have a permit for that, right? You're the zoning, right? Does a permit need to be permitted for that?
Are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking that
No,
question.
I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding the question. Are you asking if the operator who cleans that out
Yes.
needs some kind of certification,
Yes.
essentially?
Do they need a permit to come and get that off at the property in the township
I
here?
don't believe that's a zoning board question. I believe that would probably be, I don't even know which branch of it. I assume it's the county.
Probably Lucas County Health Department.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's actually outside of the purview of
Okay.
what we can.
So if, another question is,
Yeah.
if his house is inhabitable due to a fire, correct? I saw the fire department come. There was no water that was brought in to his house. I don't know what was set on fire. I don't know. Is there a permit out there that he's going to have this work done?
So whatever the determination on the damage would have been done by the insurance company is not something that we.
Yeah, but you'll have to get a permit from that through.
Without
with you guys.
knowing what the insurance company has stated, I can't say whether or
Okay.
not it's something we would be involved with at all. And by we in this case, I'm even the zoning board, I just mean the township as a whole.
Residential construction usually goes through Lucas County.
That's what I thought.
Lucas County Building Department.
Well, I mean, here in the township, we don't need to get a permit for a roof. That doesn't go through Lucas County. It goes through the township. Correct?
For what?
For a roof. Say we need a new roof in the township at our house. We don't have to get a permit from Lucas County. It's through the township. Correct? Am I correct?
I think no, just because it's.
So that's what I've always learned. I've lived at this house since 1994. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
I've dealt with a lot of things. We've dealt with some sewer issues. And everybody's right. It's the nuisance of it being out there, right?
Mhm.
I mean, all of you wouldn't want it to look at it. It's in when you go outside, you want to see it, right? So I guess that's why we are here. And it's not that we have a problem, it's just that he doesn't take care of his yard. And if it wasn't for Mike, his next door neighbor, doing his lawn every week and cleaning it up, it wouldn't have gotten done. Yes, his son would come and do his yard once in a while, but it was neighbors doing it. And they were doing it out of the kindness of their heart because they didn't want to see it. They didn't want to see the mess. And so I'm just going to say that. So, we're tired of looking at the mess. We don't pay good taxes, to pay the money that we do, to live where we live. And it might be not a great street, but it's Savannah Schools and we've lived there forever. All of us have lived there since the 90s. So, we like our street. We like the people that are on our street. And we just would like this rectified. If they can go in the backyard, great. But I don't know how long it's going to take. If this has been since April that this happened, which I remember when it happened, it is August 1 and nothing's been done. So that's all I've got to say.
I understand.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not had the opportunity yet to speak on this matter who would like to? Does anyone on the board have any questions for Daryl at this time after comment? Seeing none. Does anyone here believe they need deliberative session?
I had a question.
Yeah.
So do you have a contract signed with a contractor to repair the damage?
We have the
We
estimate.
might need you on the mic just to pick it up for the record. Sorry about that.
Okay. I thought I was loud enough.
I don't know what that picks up, so it's a just in case.
All right. I do have the estimate from the insurance company and certainly, I suppose maybe we could have some of the neighbors call the insurance company to get them moving because they are dragging, because I think it was April 23rd. What's that?
Let's try and let him finish his. We need to keep one person talking at a time on the, just to keep our record straight, so.
Okay, look at my desk and you can see if I have time. At any rate, so the work does need to get done. Mr. Fischler does have health issues. He's going to get on, as I said, get on the horn with me tomorrow because we're trying to get it. There's only so much that anyone can do at any one time. So we do have the estimate of what needs to be done. I believe they've covered it, so now it's just a matter of.
But the question was, do you have a signed contract? Like, is this work committed?
We don't have it committed yet, but we're just, I guess we just need the insurance company to give us the contractor's go ahead to go.
Okay.
Well, my point is there's a claim and they pay a claim based on an estimate. My question is, does he have a contractor? And if so, has he signed a contract? And I know it's dependent upon is the claim paid or not, but that's the issue. Obviously, the time frame is the issue.
Yes.
So we're trying to figure out that. So I guess by your answer, you did not have a signed contract.
That is correct.
Okay, so I need it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So I guess I got a question for you as well. Sorry.
Well, let's have you stay at the podium for a little bit.
Yes.
So it appears that the insurance company thus far has not followed instructions with putting it where it's supposed to be, or their contractor that you referenced earlier. They obviously put the trailer out there without consulting us first. Have you talked to them about these issues? Do you plan on rectifying those issues? Or?
Well, today was the first time I had seen the photograph of where the trailer is. So no, I haven't spoken to them because today's the first time I saw it.
Okay.
And I saw it when I picked Barry
Do you
up.
intend to?
If the board would like me to, I don't know how we can get to the backyard because one of the neighbors said that we had to go through the yard. I mean, I guess if neighbors will cooperate and if that's something that can be done, then we can certainly talk to the insurance company, talk to, I forgot the name of the company, but the company that delivers the trailer. So yes, if the board would like us to talk to that company, we can talk to the company and see about moving it back there.
We'd like to make sure there's at least some conversation. If the only way to get the trailer on and off the property is to go through neighbors' yards, there's got to be some permission or temporary grant of access for that to happen, but more importantly, some way to handle this without going over other people's yards if at all possible.
It seemed like the driveway was an ideal place for a show.
And unless it had to be left vacant to try and get workers through. I don't feel like we're at that stage of.
It doesn't, I don't know the nature of the work.
Yeah.
The work inside the home?
The work inside the home.
Well, it was a kitchen fire, so most of the work is done in the kitchen. However, they still need to clean the carpets and replace carpets and paint and that's, anything smoke touched needs to be cleaned and scrubbed.
Might be why they left the drive open.
Potentially.
Yeah. Any other questions for the applicant or his representative while he's up here? All right, seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I think I'd like to talk about
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd like to go into deliberative session if we can. We'll figure out some other location. I understand the space issue we're having at the moment. But we're going to go into deliberative session here at 5:31. We'll be right back. Okay, so the mic's back on. All right, we are coming back from deliberative session at 5:44 PM. I would like to make a motion to approve the exception for a temporary use for a camper trailer to live in on the property located at 6102 Westacre Lane, parcel number 78-91211, Savannah Township zoning resolution, section 1605A7, subject to the following 4 conditions. Condition 1, the high grass and weed violation present on the subject property shall be resolved and the property maintained on a regular basis. Condition 2, that the trailer/camper be moved onto the driveway of the property. Condition 3, that the sewage tank related thereto be stored underneath the camper/trailer to the extent possible. And condition 4, due to concerns about winter, we would be granting this for a period of 4 months. Do we have a second?
Second.
Marie, can I have you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schlechter.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Levine.
Yes.
Mr. Alsterdhouse.
Yes.
Mr. Mack.
Yes. Your exception has been approved with those following conditions. You'll be getting something in the mail from us in the next 30 days, but you're able to begin at this juncture.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. We are on to our next item of new business. We have a variance request for a fence yard setback from 30 feet required to 15 feet provided for property located at 5804 Rudyard Road, parcel number 78-65331, Savannah Township zoning resolution, section 1307B. Daryl, if I could have you read the staff report, please.
The subject property at 5804 Rudyard Road consists of a .34 acre lot on the northeast corner of Rudyard and Marshall Roads in the Westfield Gardens residential subdivision. A nearly 1,300 square foot, one-story, single-family dwelling constructed in 1964 is sited on the western half of the lot. The parcel is zoned RA, low-density residential. The subject property is bounded by other single-family dwellings also zoned RA and within the Westfield Gardens subdivision on the northwest and south. A charitable organization, Savannah Family Services, is within the Huntington Farms subdivision and abuts the subject property on the east. The owner of the subject property would like to erect a 6-foot privacy fence around the perimeter of their property. Section 1307 of the Savannah Township zoning resolution allows a fence of this height within the rear and side setbacks. However, within a front setback, the maximum height allowed for a solid privacy fence is 3 feet. As the subject parcel is a corner lot, it has 2 frontages, one each along Rudyard and along Marshall. The front setback requirement for parcels within the RA zone district is 30 feet. The applicant is asking for a variance of 15 feet in order to site the proposed fence 15 feet from the public right-of-way of Marshall Road. In their letter of intent submitted with the application for variance, the applicant states the new septic system was installed on the property earlier this year, and the location of the new leach field inhibits erecting the fence at the 30-foot setback line. A privacy fence erected in 1987 had been in place on the subject property until just recently, when it was removed for installation of the new septic system. That fence was not 30 feet from the right-of-way. Same standards were in effect at that time, and it's staff's conclusion that the zoning permit for that fence was issued in error. Zoning staff recommends approval of the 15-foot variance request to the front yard setback requirement on an RA low-density residential parcel from 30 feet required to 15 feet provided for the frontage along Marshall Road for the property located at 5804 Rudyard Road for the following 4 reasons. 1, the previous fence, while erroneously permitted, had been in place since 1987 with no evidence of nuisance complaints or safety concerns. 2, the new fence would be of the same height and style and approximately the same location as the previous fence. 3, approval of this variance should not present a negative impact upon the public good or neighboring properties or impair the visibility and or safety of the traveling public. And 4, approval of this variance should not alter the intent of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution.
Thank you, Daryl. Any questions for Daryl based on the staff report?
Have we received any public correspondence from the neighbors?
Okay. Anything else for Daryl? Seeing none, would anyone else here like to speak on this matter? If I can have you sign in, please, and then state your name for the record.
Carson Tyler. I would like to get this fence because we have 3 small dogs, and obviously Marshall is a busy street, family service center, playground right next to it. Just this past weekend, they held some sort of event there, some sort of fundraiser. I had cars parked down the side of Marshall, neighboring my property, and I guess 3 small dogs like to see people, say hi. Just to keep them safe, keep people away. Works for both. As well as it's not in any visibility. The neighbor to my north, she's very ecstatic. She's been living there since the house was bought. About having a new fence, having it nice, and looking for her property as well.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant while he's up here?
Yes, a real quick question. So when you replace this fence, you're going to keep the same frame of it as well?
We would go
curvature on the east side, or are you going to square it off, or what's your plan?
We would go and square it off to maximize as much yard as we can for the dogs and just for us as well. As you can see from the image, just the yellow dotted line.
So where the yellow dotted line is, can you approximate where the existing fence is compared to that?
I'm sorry, I did not hear you.
So you've got the yellow line there,
Yes,
where
sir.
the new fence is going. Where in relation to that line was the previous fence?
That's it in the picture, that curve.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
it right there?
It's basically right along it until it squares off.
That's a fence.
The curve, it's a curved fence, yeah.
We question it. Yeah, we question it.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. All right, but it ties in.
It's going to go all the way back there.
I'm just trying to look at, it looks like it, does it tie in right at the corner there by the driveway currently?
Yes,
Okay,
right at
that's
the
what I
corner of
wanted
the
to know.
house.
You have to remove trees?
I did have to move trees on the north side of the property because it was not well maintained by the previous owner.
Got it.
But not on the east side?
No.
Any other questions for the applicant?
Well, actually, I take that back to a question. But, so this fence, it is going to turn to the north once it hits the property line shared with Sylvania right there,
Yes.
yeah. With the
The
community
only,
service.
the only thing we would be changing is the weird curvature. We would just go straight back and square it off.
So it's not going to go all the way back.
All the way back towards the east side, going up north and just completing the property. As you can see in the picture, the fence does start on the northwest side and goes up, and then neighbors, I think the red line cuts it out a little.
Okay, that curved fence is deceiving me because it looks like the curved fence goes halfway through the yard and not through the entire yard.
Yeah. That is the best representation of that.
That's how it is.
Okay.
So are you going further east with your fence?
So not just purely squared off, you're also going further east,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the way to the property line?
Yes.
So you're.
Okay, yeah, so to the side, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's okay. We're going a little bit before the property line.
Okay.
As you can, again, see there's the little trees in the back. That's about how much space we have.
I got you.
You know you're gonna run the leach field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other questions for the applicant?
I have,
Daryl?
you indicated you have 3 dogs?
Yes, sir.
The submitted, drawing shows 1. We're gonna need to revise it.
I understand.
The other 2 are inside.
I like that, yeah.
Anything else for the applicant?
Thanks.
Does anybody need deliberative session on this one? Okay.
Can we do it?
If you want to. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for the variance request for a fence within a front yard setback from 30 feet required to 15 feet provided for property located at 5804 Rudyard Road, parcel number 786-65331, Sylvania Township zoning resolution, section 1307B.
I'll second.
Thank you. Maria, if you have a call roll, please.
Mr. Schweikes?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Levine?
Yes.
Mr. Abdul?
Yes.
Mr. Matt?
Yes.
All right, your motion is passed. You'll be able to begin work immediately, but you'll get something from our office in the next 30 days. Perfect. Does anyone else have any other matters before this board? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a big race on second there. Have a call roll, please.
Mr. Schweikes?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Levine?
Yes.
Mr. Abdul?
Yes.
Mr. Matt?
Yes. You're adjourned at 5:55.